Hey there, this is Fritz Westover with Virtual Viticulture Academy and also your host on the Vineyard Underground podcast. And I have a grower question today I'm going to answer from Ken in California. And I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. We're going to answer Ken's question about a spray product called Oxidate and just talk a little bit about what rates are currently being recommended based on the label. So as you can see, Ken says, I need help in interpreting the approximate mix level for Oxidate 2.0. I have a 50-gallon tank that I usually run about 60 gallons to the acre on. And then Ken also said, I think I figured it out by the label, but maybe it'd be useful for other growers to hear the answer to this question. So Ken, when it comes to Oxidate, there's two different labels out there. There's Oxidate 2.0, and then there's the newer label, which is Oxidate 5.0. And 5.0 has a greater level of peracetic acid in it. So basically the main ingredients or active ingredients in Oxidate are hydrogen peroxide and peracetic acid. So if you look at the label, and I by no means am making a recommendation on labeled rates here, I'm just interpreting for you what I'm seeing when I look at the labels. And I think it might be helpful to point out to any grower, you absolutely need to read your labels. And this is why. The labels will differ from different formulations of many products. And Oxidate 2.0 has what we call a curative rate, which is something you would spray if you suspect you had spores of powdery mildew or maybe some bunch rot close to harvest. It's a very short pre-harvest interval product and has a very short re-entry interval as well. Basically, there's no forward protection from a product like Oxidate. It's a sterilizer that you spray to sterilize spores, and then it basically evaporates and is gone. And if you look at the 2.0 label, which I recommend you do, there's a 1% concentration or about 64 ounces per 50 gallons of water. So that would answer your question for your label. Now, there is on the new label for Oxidate 5.0, because it's a greater concentration of peracetic acid, the curative rate is lower. It's 1 in 264ths. That's the ratio. So it's about 0.4% concentration. But there is a California label that I'm going to share here. And if you're in California, you can download this label. And they have not only that curative rate, which is the 1 in 256 dilution. So that means if you happen to have a 256 gallon tank, you would put 1 gallon of Oxidate in with that 256 gallons. That's what that dilution means. Of course, you have to do the math to figure out what to put into your size tank. But what's interesting about this product is it is concentration based. It's not like a per acre type of label system where some fungicides, let's say, are 5 ounces of this product per acre, and then you have to figure out how much water you're applying per acre, and then mix with that amount of water and apply that rate per acre. This is going to be a concentration base. So Ken, you said you apply 60 gallons per acre. So you need to mix per 50 gallons of water or per 60 gallons of water, the proper concentration. What's interesting about the label from California is that it has this rescue, which is a 1% dilution, 1 in 100. So 1 gallon per 100 gallons or 1 in 100 of whatever your measurement is. So Ken, I hope this helps to give you some options for curative sprays, but also a rescue spray. And a rescue spray is one that you would apply if you see spores or disease development that's advancing and you're trying to quote unquote rescue crop. So that's the main thing that I wanted to cover with you today, Ken. I hope that this has been helpful for you to hear my answer to your question. I hope that other growers out there are also benefiting from this question too. If you'd like to look into more of the grower guides, the video tutorials, webinars, and other things like that, you can check out virtualviticultureacademy.com. There's plenty of resources there, and you can always listen in to more grape growing advice on the Vineyard Underground podcast. You can reach out there and find that at vineyardundergroundpodcast.com or wherever you listen to podcasts. Okay, thanks all and have a great day. Hope this is helpful.